So where are we off to today? We're going to the Cheviot Hills in Northumberland, specifically Hawsen Burn in the Harthope Valley. As you can see from the map, Harthope lies at the edge of the Cheviot Pluton marked in red. But why there? Well, the Cheviot Hills were formed from a giant volcano 4 to 500 million years ago, and the red part is called the Cheviot Pluton. This Pluton contains igneous granite which is naturally high in uranium. As a bonus, at Hawsen there are several crush and fault zones where the Pluton has interacted with the surrounding lava plains, as you can see from the fingers of red on the map. In the past, things would have got hot at these zones. Minerals from the magma would have been collected in the super hot hydrothermals, and if we are lucky, deposited some uranium or thorium along with other metals.
So here we are at Hawsen Burn. We're actually on the Harthope Valley here. I just turn around, there's the valley behind me, woohoo, and the Cheviots are all around us up there. I think that's Cold Law, and then sort of behind us we've got, I think, Hedgehope and a few other things. So behind me there's a path, people walk up there and they walk for miles. But what we're doing, we're just going over there. So the plan is today is to go up Hawsen Burn about halfway to the first crush zone, then come back on ourselves, go up a path, and then come back down on the other side of that crush zone and go and find a couple more. So we'll see how that goes.
So we'll go from the car park and we'll follow the path past the sheepfold and we'll follow the burn all the way to our first landmark, which is a path that crosses the burn. From here, we will then follow the burn a little bit further upstream and we'll go to our first crush zone as indicated on the map.
So already just 50 meters into the burn, things like this are a good sign. So you see this really altered rock that's been through the walls a bit, and there's another piece over there which I'll just try and zoom in. So there you can see another piece as well. That's all good stuff. So I pulled out those rocks, and as you can see, look at the activity on that. So you've got a lot of this quartz stuff going on there. You can see it's, I've got the veins of whatever the brown stuff is as well, and a couple of smaller chunks. So you can see that's almost like a piece of the quartzy type material, and then another piece that's been quite altered. So this is what we're looking for. Unfortunately, there's not much doing there. So here's a piece that I pulled out of the river. And as you can see, look at all the stuff that's going on there. But I also put it on a bigger piece of granite. And again, you can see the breccia, the white stuff. So this is the sort of thing that this area is famous for, but it's also the sort of thing that we're looking for. Sadly, it's not radioactive though, but it's all really, really positive stuff. So this is our first milestone, and this is where the burn meets the path. So you've got two ways of doing this. You can either follow the path from the car park, or you can follow the burn. So for this particular adventure, I'm going to do both, but I'm going to follow the burn for now, which, if I just turn this around, is over there. So we're going to follow the burn there. So it might be easier for this. So there's the path, comes down, there's the burn. That's the direction we came from. And that's where we're going. This is our first crush stone. And as you can see, the rock is completely exposed here. Just over there, there's a landslide. And you'll notice that rock is a different colour, sort of browny colour, as opposed to the sort of grey colour of the granite. So this is our first crush stone to go and explore. So behind me, you can see the rock slide a lot more, and you can just see the different colours. You can see the sort of the browny rock that's underneath. So that's Mother Nature giving us a hand. To these lines here, these veins, these are quite important. They're good markers for what we're looking for. And as you can see from the Geiger count, it's slightly elevated. So, yeah, all on the right lines. So there was nothing there that was really radioactive. The most we got up to was about 0.25, which is still good, but there wasn't really any sort of anywhere I could pinpoint it. So I went to the other end of the crush zone, and although Mother Nature's helped us, we couldn't find anything that was too radioactive. So I need to go back on myself, up the path and back down again. The reason being is that down there is very, very difficult to traverse, and there's no point in taking any risks. So I might as well come back up and go back down again. So that's down there, where we were before. So we've come all the way around from back there. And then this is where we are going, up the path behind me. So we've gone all the way down to go all the way back up, but it's the most sensible thing to do. And then we need to go back down again.
So we'll leave the crush zone and retrace our steps back up the burn to where we originally saw the burn cross the path. From here, we'll then follow the path, which goes up the hill towards Hawsen Crags. And then about halfway up, you'll see a sign, and we'll follow the left-hand path all the way to the sheepfold, which we'll use as a landmark. From the sheepfold, we can then retrace our steps and go down until we go back to the burn and location 7. From location 7, it's a short walk following the burn to location 8.
Is the sign saying this way to uranium? Let's hope so. Better than going up there.
So, without me realising it on the maps, Hawsen Crags, which is what you can see at the top, and then the first outcrop as we walk down, and then the location that we were interested in, location 7 on the stream bank, were all part of the same geological feature. So this must be some sort of dike or intrusion feature, which was caused by the initial sort of collision between the andesite and the granite when this was formed however many a million years ago. Or it could be an offshoot from the glacial drift which happened at the end of the Ice Age. Either way, these three geological features are linked, which is very interesting and also a really good marker for what we're looking for.
So I'm inside with the outcrop, sort of halfway down, and already the readings are elevated. So that's a good sign.
So the readings got up to about 0.3 in the outcrop, which was very, very reassuring and also exciting. I couldn't wait to get down to the stream and investigate the real location 7.
here's the spot. So if we sort of follow it from the top, you can see there's definitely a line, a vein of something. So I've cleared away the soil and the moss, a few pebbles, but I can't get any further in. It's that top corner there, sort of in here where it's at its hottest, but I can't find anything. But you'll notice this here. Now I'm pretty certain this is copper. This is a copper mineral with the colour, the greeny, bluey colour, and it's in a couple of other places here.
So with those readings being much more elevated, I thought it won't be a bad idea to check the other side of the outcrop that was in the stream.
So on the other side, I found a hottish spot, 25, 36. That's a good sign. The only thing is that I don't know if it's picking it up here, but look at the green. Now there is actually an identified copper vein about half a mile away from here. So copper is a thing. See what that's doing. 35. Oh. So we found another spot on the other side. So getting sort of similar readings as what they were. The only problem there, which is not the easiest of places for me to look into, so I may just call this one quits and just go, yeah. Just I also want to have a look at other part of the burn. I want a bit at the end of the burn, see what else it's got. But this is definitely a radioactive spot and worthy of further study.
So by following the clues, we potentially found copper and radioactivity in a place which has never been documented before. That's really exciting.
So that's that part done. Down there, where we were. So now my intention is to continue following the river as much as I can until the next crush zone, and then after that, a bit of an explore. Not the sort of thing we like to see. Some form of animal trap. Stop little animals eating the eggs. Be sad. Need to see I haven't been sprung. But we're now in the next crush zone. It's like land of the giants here. There's so many bedrocks exposures here. It's manic. There's also loads of really cool rocks as well. I'm looking forward to showing you. Here's one I've just found here. I mean, just look at the mad markings on that. What things have happened here over the millions of years? So this is the first side. And sadly, although you could see just how pink and greasy and quartzy this granite, there's nothing doing on the Geiger counter. So we're out of luck on this side. Well, we'll try the other side. Got plenty to try. And Mother Nature's helped us out with a bit of a mudslide. Despite the fact that this has some really good signs to it, I'm a bit disappointed that there was nothing happening. I mean, look at this here. You know, there's a huge chunk of basically quartz. And if I pop across, you can see that the mineralisation is, I mean, look at that there. You know, but it's nothing above background. And, you know, I would have expected something to be picked up here, which is, you know, a little bit disappointing, but maybe that's why nobody else has found anything here. But this boulder is just basically a massive chunk of sort of quartzy granite. And you go across the other side, there's the sort of other side of this crush zone. And it is all this pinky white stuff. And there's even hints of green as well, which I'd normally say is copper, but it might be something biological. So, oh well, we'll have to move on to the next bit. However, the stream itself just has loads of these mad boulders of quartz. There's two there, and there's one sticking out there, and there's a couple in the corner there, and there's one right there. So, if your thing is quartz boulders, right, this is where you need to come for your holidays. Okay, there's even a little one there. It's just mad. It just goes to show it's there. Now, where these have come from, if it's the weathering of this granite intrusion, or if it's come from downstream, up there, we'll have to go and find out. So whilst the rocks on the other side was slightly more radioactive, I got it to about 0.19, 0.2, there wasn't much further investigation required. There's some quite nice black veins of something, don't know what it is. So there's obviously stuff here, but there wasn't anything as good as further downstream.
So after this disappointment of the crush zone at location 8, we only took a short walk before our next surprise, and what a treat it was. Gandalf the tree.
Is that Mother Nature saying, "Thou shalt not pass"? So the rock that's next to Gandalf's tree, slightly radioactive, surprisingly. But my Geiger counter managed to get up to about 0.3, which wasn't far off what we were getting down in the location with the copper veins. So this is worthy of further study, and there is quite a lot of broken rock here as well. So it's clearly some sort of fault. So let's go and have a look. So this is about the best sustained reading as I can get. As you can tell by the red light, it means it's got above 0.29 or something like that. So it is getting there. I just can't pinpoint it. So I wonder if the whole, I'll just stand back a bit. I wonder if the whole rock just has a lot of potassium in it, or granite or something like that. But it's not a bad reading, that, considering. I wasn't expecting it. So I'm going to try the other side of the river, see if there's anything doing there. Further up from Gandalf's tree, it was mud slide, rock slide city. There are endless rock slides here. Sadly, I think it's just erosion. I don't think it was any faults or anything, but it makes my life a bit easier. Gives me plenty to analyse, although I don't hold up many high hopes. Now, I'm not much of a gem person, but that's beautiful, that. We've got a row of amethyst crystals, and then there's some feldspar, I'd imagine. Aye, stunning, that. So this is Rockslide City, this. There's just so many of them. I thought this would be done with this area. But I might have to come back because there's so much still to explore. What I'm trying to do is get to the end of the burn, and then I can come back via the path. Keep finding stuff though. So that's the end of Hawsen Burn for me. All of a sudden it's gone marshy, boggy. There's no geology. Everything seems to have ground to a halt. Plus, it's really hard work, this stuff. This peaty stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screed behind myself and rejoin that very first path and walk back down to the car park.
So on the journey back, I took the opportunity to seek out Hawsen Crags, given its importance to location 7. So I followed the burn back up to the path and then walked up to the path until it became a crossroads. Despite what you see on the map, there's actually a path up to the crags, which is where I stayed for a short break. Once I had refreshed myself at the crags and took some final videos, I then walked down the bank back to Hawsen Burn and followed the burn down the stream until I went back to the original car park and the end of the journey.
It looks like a path to me. Oh, sight for sore eyes. Not the fittest person in the world. I'm also quite excited to see where it leads us, because that's quite high up there. Oh well, in for a penny. So behind me is the famous sheepfold. Just have that to do now. So by complete coincidence, the peak I've just climbed, which is Hawsen Crags, which is very good, since that's where we've just been, Hawsen Burn, is actually the start of that intrusion or fault that we went to see at the bottom. So when we went to the bottom, we shot up. This is it now. So if I could go back in time, I could wave at myself. So this here caused all the problems down there. So isn't that funny? I'll just show you the other side. Not that you can see much because it's a bit of a miserable day. There's the sheepfold. We can zoom in a little bit. There we go. The world famous sheepfold. And then we have the path where it joins the river. So I'll just zoom in for you there. So yeah, so you can see that there. So that's where the path where it joins the river. So that's where we are. So although on the map it only looks about 100 metres, 200 metres, look at what you've got to do to get there. It's just mad, isn't it? So I'm going to have a drink and descend, and then I'll wrap things up. Well, glowies, that was super fun, wasn't it? It's nice to see that I found something, even though that this place isn't listed as a uranium or a thorium location. And the sun's come out, which is always quite nice as well. So in future videos, I'll be planning a visit to other places in the Cheviot, and I might even come back here. So, what did we learn? Well, if we re-review our geological maps with the points that we visited, we can see there's definitely a correlation. In very simple terms, the darker grey rock was older andesite, lava-based rock, with the more pink rock, the newer granite, intruding. Natural Cheviot granite is around 10 parts per million uranium, but after researching, that isn't enough to show the levels we witnessed. That was also proven by the observation that only a few pink outcrops were elevated. So there could be something else at play. Now, I'm no expert, but my hunch is that the readings at location 7, coupled with the presence of green minerals, suggests the presence of a metallic vein somewhere in the vicinity. Elsewhere in the area, there is a report of a copper uranium vein, so who knows? The puzzle of similar readings at Gandalf's tree remains just that, with no obvious signs of veins or metals, although both were at locations where there are pluton intrusions. But the beautiful scenery of Hawsen Burn in the Cheviot Hills, where I didn't see one person during any of my visits, was the real star. Accessible, colourful, and full of mystery, it had all the secrets and is definitely worthy of further study. Maybe you will pay a visit and see what you can find amongst the rocks and streams. Gandalf the tree may even say, "Thou shalt pass."